The Wooting 60HE is considered the best gaming keyboard on the market, but how well has it held up after 6 months? That's what we're going to find out today. So if you guys aren't familiar with the Wooting 60HE, it is basically a gaming keyboard that advertises as a keyboard that could actually improve your gaming experience, and in my opinion it does do just that. You can change the actuation point for each key from all the way to 0.1 millimeters to 4 millimeter total travel distance. They also have their own rapid trigger mode, which basically helps you land that first shot better after moving in games like CSGO and Valorant or anything like that. And they also have their tachyon mode, which basically lowers the input delay even more than it already is. So you have all of these customizability options that you can change in their software, which in my opinion is very easy to use. So this keyboard regularly ships in a black plastic case, but if you're like me and you want a better case, you can obviously change that to anything that supports a DZ60 PCB, because that's what the PCB is. So I have the Clippy T case that I changed it into, and I think it looks very nice. Now another thing that I also did is lube the switches and stabilizers, of course, as well, just to give a smoother experience when using the keyboard. Now this is obviously not a need, but I do think it is definitely recommended. The first thing I wanted to talk about is, of course, how it performs in gaming after using it for so long. Now in games like CSGO and Valorant, or shooters in general, I didn't notice a difference that much, but the rapid trigger definitely did play a big part in helping me land the first shot after moving, because basically the way it works is the instant you let go of the W key, for example, the keyboard will automatically stop. Now, of course, that's how it should work, but sometimes in a lot of other mechanical keyboards, there is a little bit of delay, and when you're trying to be as precise as possible, that could become an issue and you could miss the first shot and die because of it. This prevents that from happening, and that is where I noticed this keyboard shining the most. When it came to the actuation point and the tachyon mode, I didn't really notice a difference too much. I mean, I guess maybe a little bit, but those are like more minor. Where this keyboard does really shine though is when it comes to rhythm games. I love playing rhythm games like Osu or anything like that, or Taiko. I definitely got a lot of better plays and a lot of higher scores using this keyboard over any other keyboard, because there is almost zero delay when I would use it. So when I'm playing those rhythm games that required me to be very accurate with my key presses, this keyboard definitely delivered in that department, and I was not disappointed at all. I was getting a lot better scores and going up in rank. I even beat some of those scores that I didn't even ever think I would ever beat, and I was able to pass songs that I never thought I'd ever be able to pass either. So it just felt great to use the keyboard. Now let's get into the biggest problem I think this keyboard has till this day, and I don't think it's ever going to be solved, because it involves the switches. The switches themselves do not feel good to type on. They feel very cheap and plasticky, if that makes any sense. They don't really feel like a solid switch that you would expect out of a keyboard at this price point. I was very disappointed in that, because that means that I can't run it as my main keyboard. I have to be constantly switching in and out, and not everybody has multiple keyboards just lying around that they can swap out when they want to type essays or respond to people. Even after looping them, the sound profile for the switches definitely sounds how they feel. You know, they don't sound the greatest either. And when you're buying a keyboard, of course, nowadays people want it to sound thocky or whatever, but it just doesn't sound good in general. It sounds very thin, I guess you could say. The two biggest drawbacks go hand in hand. It doesn't sound that good, and it doesn't feel that good either. So if you are trying to buy this as your main keyboard, maybe think twice about that, because if you don't really care too much about that and you just want it for the gaming performance, then by all means definitely buy this keyboard. But if you wanted to have an all-rounder, I don't think this keyboard is an all-rounder. I think it specializes in gaming, but when it comes to the sound and feel department and just typing in general, it does not deliver as well as I'd hoped it would. Overall, I still think this keyboard is great if you're looking for the best gaming experience, or if you're an avid rhythm game fan like I am, then this is definitely right up your alley. But I would recommend buying the second keyboard if you have the money for it, to basically use for everything that isn't gaming. I'll be leaving a link to this keyboard in the description below, and let me know what you guys think about the Wooting 60HE in the comments down below. I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.